What is up, YouTube? This is AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock here with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks Week. We're going to be going over the latest Card Fight Vanguard episode, Ride 164, as well as results from our local and any more news that we have from Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. So let's get right into it. Ride 164. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode yet, please pause and close the video. Go watch that episode and then come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please click on the link in the description down below just to skip right to the results of our local. So Ride 164, the missing leader. Season 4 started off, no breaks, no hiatus. So seems like we're going to be continuing with the Vanguard. So we have Kai in a dream. All of a sudden he goes up to this light. Seems like he was on Cray or some otherworldly place. And then he sees Blaster Blade. He's really like, whoa, I kind of recognize you. And then he wakes up in his bed. And so now we have Kai as the main protagonist, as has been promoted for the past few weeks or so. And it's interesting because now, where is Aichi? And so it seems like a throwback to Season 2, where Kai was in Aichi's shoes, and what happened when the Gold Paladins replaced his Royal Paladins. And then he discovered the Limit Break. Now, Kai also gives a brief overview of how Card Fight Vanguard has been really at the top of the game. Everyone's been playing it, kids and adults alike. And you see just how crazy it is that, hey, we're in a world where trading card games are the thing. And so as Kai moves on, he heads over to the local shop, sees Shin, and Shin was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And then, you know, Kai was trying to ask people, was like, yeah, is Sendo Aichi here? And then it's like, Aichi, I don't even know who it is. And then Kai's like, wait, what do you mean you don't know? Aichi? You guys been at the store for a while? I was like, I don't know. I don't know personally. I know there's a Sendo, the Emmy right there. And so Kai ends up walking over to Emmy, like, oh, you're Kai Toski, because apparently Kai has a really good reputation. And so, and kind of a nod to the Pacifica attack that she made back there, probably to promote the new Bermuda Triangle Extra Booster that will be out in March in Japan. And so, as Kai says, you know, where is your brother? Brother, I'm an only child. And just, oh wow, and Kai's just taken aback, just, okay, you don't know Sendo Aichi? And, you know, her friend was trying to think, maybe it's a cousin or something, but they don't recognize the name at all. So, Kai kind of did a little face planting, and don't worry, I won't disturb you any further, and he goes off. And so, before he leaves the store, he ends up thinking, wait, Misaki might know a thing or two, because she has great memory. And then Shin brings up how, oh yeah, even if you forget a little thing, she brings it up later, making everyone feel bad. Classic Misaki. So Kai ends up going to the high school, and as he passes by, you know, he's asking for Misaki, and Misaki ends up finding Kai and say, hey, you know, you're Kai Toski, and so he's asking him, like, do you know Sendo Aichi? And so far, she doesn't. She doesn't even know who Aichi is, which is strange, because, you know, usually, especially that Misaki has been with Aichi ever since Season 1, and you just have this kind of depressing feeling just here, you know, so nobody knows who Aichi is, or we haven't even seen a hint of Link Joker either, which is interesting. So after that, he ends up, okay, where's the Card Fight Club? And said, no, I was just, you know, I wasn't able to go to work today because I had cleaning duties assigned. So that was an interesting twist. Now the Card Fight Club hasn't even been formed yet, which was founded by Aichi. So Kai, as he ends up walking down, or actually before he goes to the high school, you notice the ad for Ultra Rare, but you only see Suiko and Rekka. You don't see Core in there, so that's a little bit of thing that I can explain later on. And so Kai ends up trying to go to the physics preparation room, has this little flashback with Aichi, how, oh, we're meeting in the physics prep room, you know, now. So, you know, stop by. And so he ends up stopping by, and nobody's there. So Kai is just, what's going on here? And so, next thing you know, there's a light that comes into the room and gives Kai a Royal Paladin deck. It's like, this is Blaster Blade. And now we have Kai end up going for Royal Paladins over his Kagero / Narukami deck. Hopefully he goes back to that, but I guess for the time being, for the sake of the plot, Kai is going to resume the Royal Paladin, Gold Paladin group that Aichi once had. So in that respect, Kai was definitely taking the mantle of main character quite well. Because unlike the past few seasons where people go into a panic or something that nobody knows what's going on, Kai was just okay, calm, settled. Okay, so I can ask this one. And it's like okay, so nobody really knows. And so that makes him a really interesting main character now. It's gonna be awesome seeing what he can do later on. But the thing is, on his way to the prep room, he actually passed by Naoki, and Naoki was just like, "What's going on? Huh, maybe I should check something out." So Naoki ends up going in and said, "Hey, you know, I'm wondering what. Curious, like you're not from around here, aren't you?" And so Kai was like, "Yeah, like you're Naoki Ishida." And so Naoki's like, "Wait, how do you know my name?" And so just like, "Yeah, I remember you." And then end up going to a card fight. And Naoki, of course, just like back in season 2 with the high school, was just, well, I guess I can do that. Or actually, wait, Naoki was in season 3. Yeah, he was in season 3. Oh man, I can't believe I messed that up. So, same thing like Naoki, he was a bit of a delinquent, and he was just curious about the Vanguard thing. But the thing is, it turned out to be more curious than when he initially found out about Vanguard back in the first episode of season 3. And so Kai took him back to the local shop, and they were gonna do a card fight battle. I think Shin finally found the trial deck for Kai, except that the sub manager Cat had it in his bed. So Kai had a chance to go to Narukami, but I think Kai wanted to fulfill a commitment that hey, I'm gonna take on the mantle of Royal and Gold Paladins for Aichi while he's gone, and gives the Narukami deck to Ishida. So you have the first of the Seekers versus the Brawlers. This is going to be interesting since they're just trial decks, but of course they're getting pretty broken later on. And so they start off the fight, they ride, and then Kai ends up going with Aichi's catchphrase when he rides Blaster Blade. And so after that, Naoki had like manly tears in his eyes. And that's when he finally realizes that Aichi, how can I forget about Aichi? And then you can already tell that all the yaoi is going to be all over the place. Because now, both Kai and Naoki talk about how Aichi is their mate. And how, they're a good friend of them. Even though it's a bromance, a lot of people can take it way too far. So it can be pretty bad. However, with that in play, the card fight actually didn't finish. By the time you go to grade 2 or so, really not that much. But actually, if you're just getting into Vanguard, it provides a pretty good tutorial, just like any season opener, about how to play the game. And of course, they'll probably explain it later on, just for the people that are just getting right into it and they don't want to watch the first 3 seasons, even though those first 3 seasons are actually pretty damn good. And so, by the time that's done, actually, wait, I made a mistake. It was actually Misaki there, and Misaki knew what the trial deck was. Silly me. And so after Naoki realizes it and they stop the card fight, pretty much trying to off-put the Legion until the next episode. And so Misaki and Kai was saying to Misaki was, "Hey, how'd you play me in the card fight? Are you scared?" And just, wow, really, Kai? So now Misaki's gonna play against Kai, and hopefully she's gonna go through the same realization that Naoki had in terms of what happened to Aichi and where he could possibly be. So this first season of season 4 is a really interesting one. I like how they're not going with the limit break like they've been going in the past 2 seasons. So I'm definitely a bit hyped for that and looking forward to see what are they going to make new out of this. So we have here season 4 opener. Very awesome. I liked it a lot. And towards the end, maybe before or after the credits immediately, you have a diagram of Aichi, or at least looks like Aichi, in the throne. The shadows are covering his face, but you can see his hair, his trademark. And then you hear Korin's voice saying Aichi. And then all of a sudden you realize, are these two on their honeymoon or something like that? Or is it something a bit more deeper or darker? That Korin will probably go so far as to kidnap Aichi from everyone else, acting like the crazy girlfriend. But of course, this is just speculation at this point. This is just what I think, what I've seen from at least that particular part of the episode. And so far, hopefully we'll get more info on that for next week. And I've seen the preview for next week's episode entitled Legion, and so I'm really looking to see how this Legion is going to work on the new set of Vanguard. and I'm very looking forward to it. I think that they did a good job with putting Kai in as the main protagonist, and in the intro when they introduce new characters, that's going to be interesting too, since we're going to have some new blood in the mix as well. And that's it for the episode analysis. Of course, if you have any comments or suggestions about the episode, feel free to comment down below and get a conversation started. Now let's get right to the results of our local. So Alex has something to report on Friday. Unfortunately, I was not there. There were only 4 teams there, so we do need more people to come out to that tag team Cardfight Vanguard tourney, and it's been really popular at the beginning and just started to die down a little bit. So I'd like anybody that's interested in tag team fights in Cardfight Vanguard, please go to Game On in Clifton. I'll provide a link to their website below and a link to their Facebook page as well. So on Friday, it was Henry and Alex that dominated again with Valiant Sword Reverse as well as MLB. And I think the top 2 teams, I think it was between, I think Jason and somebody else, although correct me if I'm wrong. So after that we can move to the Saturday tourney where we had 20 people in there, which is pretty cool to see. So it's 5 rounds to switch top 8, and I was playing Link Joker. I managed to get all 4 perfect guards off of Alex, and I still have to pay him for that, and the 1 Nebula Lord, because I want to make use of Dark Band Dragon and save up for, you know, Chaos Breaker when it comes out. And so first round I went up against Joe Maglio from Team Dark Matter. He was running Bermuda's the Reindeer build, and I managed to beat him because I just got my triggers and managed to get the lock combo in, especially with the early lock from Mobius. And then second game I went up against Henry with Valiant Sword Reverse. He was definitely good with you know, controlling the field because he wasn't swarming the field or putting everything on, leaving just 2 rear guard spots open. And you know, it's been pretty difficult for me to actually do the break ride, and when he did the limit break for reverse, just completely wiping out almost my entire field, it was pretty crazy, and he managed to beat me. And then third round I went up against Ian. He was running MLB, and he 2-0'd me because first game he got Blasted Jesus, aka Excapolte, off and cleared my entire field, and he had enough cards in hand to recover. And then I had game 2 where I was at 2 damage and he did the skill. I put him at 5 damage. He managed to do Star Call Trumpeter twice, and so he got a double crit, so making it 4 damage on me, and I lost from there. Fourth game I went up against Precise. He was running the Aqua Force, and I managed to beat him best 2 out of 3. Game 1 it was just a lock. Game 2 it was Glory Maelstrom. I couldn't really guard against that. And then it was game 3 where I managed to get through with the one to pass when we had barely any cards in our hand. And then fifth game I went up against Sean. He was running a Link Joker deck as well, except it was the Schwarzschild version. So I managed to beat him 2-0 because the first game he was Gradelock, and the second game he was the second game it was more of a legit match. I just managed to at least outlast him after he did the Schwarzschild limit break. So once it cut to top 8, I wasn't able to make it. Even though I went 3-2, but you know what? I'll try again next week. So top 8 actually, when it got down to the top 4, it was Henry with Valiant Sword Reverse, Rob from Team Dark Matter with Jewel Knights, Arturo with Revengers, and Sean with Link Joker. And so that was an interesting top 4. And then after that played out, the finals happened to be Rob versus Arturo. So you have Royals versus Shadows in the main final. And I'm not sure how exactly Arturo got it. I think it was a miracle play or something, whether it was a 6 damage heal or whatnot. And he managed to take first place. So Avengers takes first place at our locals. Because last week we had people that ended up splitting, so we had that. But at least this one had a clear cut winner in the form of a Raging Form Dragon for Shadow Paladin Avengers. And that's it for the local results. So what's been going on lately as with the team? I haven't been able to get an Unlock the Team episode yet, but I should be able to have one up by, if not Thursday, definitely Friday, so I can you know, interview one more person about the team and just, you know, get you guys to know more about, like, you know, who's part of Team Gradelock, as well as, you know, what their playstyles is, what their philosophy is, and, you know, just interact with our subscribers in that aspect. I will have a casual series match uploaded tonight along with this video. And I also managed to get a deck profile up of Dark Regulars. I know there was a person who commented that wanted to know the deck composition of the Dark Regular player. In fact, Eric was actually using Justin's deck, so Justin's going to be doing the deck profile. albeit a difference of a few cards such as the heal triggers and whatnot. So he's going to have a deck profile up hopefully either by Tuesday or Wednesday, so we can have some content for you throughout the week. Now, according to the Vanguard news, after seeing the support for the Bermudas, support for Spike Bros, is just really awesome. Bermudas is going to be getting their own restanding Vanguard finally. Finally going to get a Prism / Duo Perfect Guard, so Labrador players are going to be, including me, are going to be really happy about that. So we have more Prisms in our deck, and then we have to have a, different, how do I say, a different way to play things in the form of Legion, because when Legion's out, oh man, this is gonna be silly, because now you don't have to worry about limit break at all. It's just Legion, you just combine a card and then boom, you hit it for like 20k by itself, and then you boost it, and then now you swing it for like 33. And Royal Paladins, according to Alex, finally get a 10k booster, so they can really be happy about that. And I'm liking this Legion so far. I like the skills that it has, makes things a little bit better, and a lot less of a power creep. So it's gonna be a really good mechanic to see premiered in the second episode. Hopefully, if Masaki doesn't, realize something before in the episode discussion. And according to also releases are coming out, Dimensional Brave Kaiser. Oh man, the child deck's gonna be out. I want to pre-order maybe just 2 boxes, maybe 3, and then put that in my Dimensional Robo deck and see where I go. I think I probably want to end up going for try out the Dimension Police one more time on Saturday and see where I go with it. Hopefully I'll be able to get something. And then in April is going to be the Mystical Magus Extra Booster, which I am so hyped for, because the promo card is one of the most useful cards in the form of Pentagonal Magus. And so I'm probably going to be dropping some money to get boxes, aka promos of that. So I have to really just drop the money on that per se. So those are things that have been going on as of late. Now, of course, last week's episode I talked about Buddyfight. And Buddyfight, I've been watching the episodes quite a bit. I'm really getting into it. I still have the promo from the regional that they handed out, and I like it. It's awesome to see that this card game is really starting to take off, especially at our locals, because our locals were giving out free flash decks to everybody that's interested in learning about Buddyfight. And after I took my free flash deck, everybody's asking like, oh, well, how much is that? Oh, it's free. And so we had 4 or 5 people picking up more flash decks and learning how to play the game. And it's starting to be really good because, even though you're at 10 life, it's a fast-paced game, and you just worry about what you're going to get in your hand. Although that Gargantuan Punisher card is extremely broken, because if you don't rush them down, late game, Dragon World just can completely take it. And 2 worlds I'm actually interested in building would be Dungeon World and Legend World. Now, Dungeon World I like because I play RPGs a lot, and, I feel like it would be a great throwback to it. And then you have, Legend World, where you go into like some Greek mythology stuff, so I'm really into that. So I want to check that out as well. So aside from that, I want to see if I can try and break down the Buddyfight episode as well. If you guys do want to see Buddyfight episode breakdowns, feel free to comment down below with that. And yeah, that's it for this week's episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks week. I am your host, AlphonZeus. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and comment with any suggestions that you have for any future or potential new episodes. Take care, guys. I'll see you all next time.